Hello everyone, welcome to the Valley News Now desk. Duke Schindler here joining with you on this Wednesday afternoon after a massive system ran through the area here in the Fargo-Moorhead area as well as north heading into Grand Forks as well. Would report that earlier in the noon show today our meteorologist Summer Schnellbach said Grand Forks received up to about 11 inches of snow in their area. Around the Fargo-Moorhead area, specifically in Moorhead, around 4.5 inches totaling. At least that's what I got from the meteorologist. Keep in mind, I am not one myself. But we're going to check out road conditions here, take a look at how they're looking, take a look at a little bit of sky cams, kind of guide you through this drive home on this work day here. So we'll bring up kind of the conditions right now as soon as I move this over just a bit so you guys can get the full picture on this one. Right now in Fargo, sitting at 14 degrees with winds coming at 15 miles an hour at this time. That's not including wind gusts or feels like temperature. You see it right there. The feels like is about -1 right now. So take that into consideration when driving home here tonight. And we'll kind of go through everything, whether it be the radar, hourly temps, things of that nature, things that I feel comfortable doing here on the desk. As we'll have our newscast here at 4 p.m. where you get the full lowdown on what to expect with this weather, because there will be another first alert coming up here, first alert weather day, I should say. But taking a look at the hourly outlook here in Fargo right now, sitting at obviously 14 degrees, but then we are going to see quite the dip in temperatures, which is going to make that first alert weather day come around here. I believe it is Friday. Do not quote me on that quite yet. But as we go through the rest of the night, 14 degrees, and as we go further down into about midnight, it's dropping about a near full 10 degrees there. No precipitation, thankfully, nothing that we have to really worry about here in the valley. But as we move into the next 12 hours, you see the temps just keep dropping here into -2 about 6 a.m. on the 11th here tomorrow morning. Warm up a little bit, and then move back down as we're going to see some frigid temps come Friday here. As you can see, it dips all the way down to -1. That's going to be at the beginning of the 12th there, so Friday. I'll scroll all the way back up here, give you a little bit of a 3-day outlook, then a 10-day. Obviously, today we're seeing 14 degrees. Going to get a little cold here, dip into the negatives. A little warmer here coming Thursday, but as soon as we hit that Friday, we're going to see very cold temperatures at -2, potential lows at -19. As we take a look at the rest of the weekend, very bitterly cold. I am glad that I will be not doing much. I will be indoors, probably watching football at this point come Saturday. But taking a look at the radar, obviously there's not too much to look at here. We'll zoom out just a bit. As you can see, this is the past we're at right now. So you see a little bit, this is at about 9 a.m. today. We still had some moisture, some precipitation, some snow moving through the area. Certainly has cleared by about that noon hour when I went on the desk to do our noon show. And that's going to be how it's going to continue kind of throughout the rest of the night here. We'll go into the future cast. As you can see, another system is kind of making its way towards this area. Make sure to tap into Valley News Live here at 4 for the full lowdown of when this system's going to make its way into town. Nothing coming here as of now, though, heading into the late night. That's what's kind of the weather radar. Sorry about that. I couldn't think of the word. The weather radar is looking like at this time. Now I want to bring you over to the sky cams here to take a look at how the conditions are looking like right now. Heading to the fairgrounds in West Fargo. A little bit of the same here that we've been seeing the last couple hours. Obviously the snow trucks and snow plows have been doing their job here, getting those roads clean, easy to maneuver at this point. But you can still see the camera itself shaking just a little bit. That wind is still very significant out there, so if you may be driving long distances or just anywhere to and from your destination, be sure to factor in the wind, as it can certainly push your car around a little bit there. Over to the Dakota Magic Casino here. giving you a way better look. If you remember and tapped into the stream yesterday, the camera was completely full of snow, ice, all the above here. And I would also like to remind anyone here viewing on the Facebook page, if you have any questions or areas I can check out for you, I'll do it to the best of my knowledge here so we can make sure everyone's covered. It's going to be a tricky drive home. Probably not as much as yesterday and last night, but nevertheless, conditions that you certainly want to be looking out for. That's what it's looking like at Dakota Magic at this time. And it's looking like Grand Forks is looking a little different compared to yesterday here. You can still see the wind, still a little bit of a factor here, but those roads by the stoplight much more clear than they were yesterday as well. Not too bad, not too bad. You saw even other trucks as well may have slipped off the road there yesterday as well when we were checking things out. Into Bismarck, when we were checking it out, this camera out yesterday, the storm had passed by then. We'll see if we can bring it up this time around. Otherwise, we'll head straight to the road maps and give you that kind of lowdown on what conditions are looking like coming here right now. So we'll skip that one here, see if Bismarck 2's got anything. Yep, just some decent snow coverage, plowed roads, all the above, A, B, C, D. Let's move on over to, let's start with North Dakota here. I'll start breaking it down for you, kind of, this is what the road maps are looking like throughout the state of North Dakota. Here's the key on the left-hand side. Most of it's green at this point, as we saw many of the snowplows getting out there, doing their job, putting in overtime too. Shout out to those guys. Green means seasonal, good conditions, pretty much as good as they can get right now after a couple very inclement weather days. Into the yellow, that's going to be ice and compacted snow, which is a lot of what we've seen here in the valley, as well as just snow-covered roads overall. So we'll dive into a few of these places, and like I mentioned, if you have a place, city, town that you want me to check out, I'll make sure to do it to my best of abilities. But we'll check out some camera views here on what the roads are looking like. So this we'll do just outside of West Fargo here, and these are pretty up to date here at this time too. About 1:39 this pic was sent in from the DOT. Pretty clear at this point. Maybe a little bit of slickness with the temperatures not being able to really clear off, warm up, or melt this ice. So always be wary of that. Black ice, real sneaky. Near Fargo at 9th Street East, near I-94. Coming off that exit ramp, not too shabby here as we move kind of throughout. Yeah, looking like pretty good conditions here, at least as good as they can get after a major system moves throughout the area. We'll keep going north at this time because that's where the brunt of where this storm has hit. A little further north of Fargo, you can see right at the stoplight here of 12th Avenue North near I-29. Not too bad. Road's looking pretty clear at this time. Maybe some ice there. You always got to tap the brakes to check. That's what has always worked out for me throughout the years. A little bit closer to Harwood. Yeah, not too bad. This is what pretty much most of the roads and major highways, I-29 and 94, have been looking like here. So good news for anyone traveling. It's not too bad from the naked eye, I should say, from the naked eye, and these pictures as well. We checked out this camera yesterday. Obviously, it was a lot more snow covered, worrying about the bridges there being a little more slick. Maybe a little bit of the same, as you can see, a little bit of ice, kind of a little sheet of ice right there. That can catch under your tire and get you slipping pretty quick. But otherwise, I mean, pretty much what you'd expect really out of the day after a major system moves through. A little closer to Grand Forks, where we did see near 11 inches of snow, or just about, on I-29, getting a little closer to Grand Forks here. Some snow still on the roads, but most of it pretty much cleaned up, plowed off at this time. But once I'm sure we get a little more out to the west there, and a little bit to those less driven on areas, maybe we see a little change. But yeah, you can see some of the sun here too reflecting off that ice. See the driver there avoiding that. Yeah, some ice-covered areas that we can see here. Let's go a little bit towards Devil's Lake, see what that's looking like. We'll start with Lakota, and this will be on Highway 2. So it's supposed to be snow-covered roads around this area. As far as you can see here, yeah, there's some space, but definitely not as clear as most of those major highways, but that's obviously what you'd expect when most people are traveling through that. Closer, getting a little closer to Devil's Lake on US 2 here. Still looking, yeah, there's some places that certainly need a little extra plowing, but a lot of these roads have been taken care of for the most part. Maybe some snow we saw earlier this morning sticking around as the plows have been finishing their job, but nothing really out of the ordinary here as we move a little bit further out of Devil's Lake, and you see still on US 2 here as well. Little less maintained at this time. Yep, you can see some slush. That can catch under your tires, get you slipping a little bit of ice as well. So if you're in that Devil's Lake area, roads may not be as favorable as other areas around Fargo here. Let's start at New Rockford, kind of take a peek here. This is going to be on US, I believe that's 281 here I'm seeing. Some two-way traffic, but yeah, a lot of the same thing. Nothing you really wouldn't expect after a snowstorm. Still some coverage on the roads. But nothing major that is going to really hinder driving. May just slow down just a little bit, 5-10 miles an hour, just to make sure you don't slip on any ice. But really looking throughout North Dakota, not too bad. We'll check in with Valley City and Jamestown here. Yes, Eric, I also do love no snow. Well, I will say, I do love it around Christmas time, but when it's coming in bunches like it is now, making my life a little tougher on the road and everyone else's, yeah, we could tone that down just a little bit. All right, back to Valley City here. This is going to be still on West 94. Yep, a lot of that is maintained as we would expect through Jamestown. A little more coverage there, yep. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, just about most of the same there near Jamestown. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Let's check out Wahpeton a little further south, and then we'll start moving into the Minnesota areas. This is going to be on 13, it looks like, heading west. Clear roads, a little bit of coverage. Nothing out of the ordinary. I like what we're seeing here. And once again, shout out to everyone, the snow plows out there, putting in the extra hours to make sure everyone's safe and taken care of out there. It's not a thrilling job by any means, but it certainly helps the public dearly, dearly when we have weather like this. We'll move into Minnesota here and check out some of these roads. I know we had a couple popular ones on 75 that people would like to see. Ooh, really bad in Mayville last night. Thank you very much, Eric. Yeah, right, near that north and Grand Forks, our meteorologist Summer Schnellbach reported about 11 inches of snow there. So, yeah, I'm sure it was hard to maneuver there. All right, let's take a peek here, just outside of Fargo on 75. See if there's anything out of the ordinary here. This is 75 at 40th Avenue. Not too bad looking there. You got some sun peeking through. You love to see that sun in times like this as well. Just getting a little more, any ice melt, it will help at this point. All right. This is a popular one requested yesterday, right around 75 and 60th Avenue. Make sure I can see this. All right. This was taken at about 1:40, so about 20 minutes ago. It's looking like there's some traffic being held up there. And this is once again on US 75 near 60th Avenue South. Still looks like there's some work being done there, but most of it is being cleared. May see some slush. All right, let's get a little closer to Fergus and a little out of the Moorhead area. I-94 once again, this was taken at 1:53, so just about 7 minutes ago this was uploaded. I-94 is not looking too bad, so if you're going a little further into Minnesota tonight, just outside of Moorhead, not looking bad right now by any means. 154, a little further down on 94 and up to 336 here. Bringing it up, 154, yep. Pretty clear, can't complain, can't complain. As we get closer to Barnesville here, let's take a peek. A lot of the same thing here, everyone. But nothing really unexpected at this point when you live in the area. We do very much have to brave this type of weather. So as we get a little closer to Fergus Falls, nearing that Alexandria area, yeah, plows just out there doing their job, getting the job done. Love to see it. Love to see it. And let's get a little further here, closer to the cities. But yeah, I mean, really not much to look at here as well. All right, just for kicks and giggles, this is one of my hometowns here, Albany, Minnesota. State basketball champs, by the way, defending. Shout out Coach Johnson, first year on the job. He was my ninth grade coach in his first year. But yeah, nothing really sticking out here, guys. Plows doing their job. Everyone's seems to be in order when it comes to these road conditions. We'll take another look at what this weather is looking like. Give her a little refresh. Temps dipping down just a little bit. 13 degrees right now. Wind still sticking around 15 miles an hour. That's going north at this time. Feels like -3 out there. Sunset coming at 4:38. Yeah, I can't wait for that little more daylight to come back around here. Out of the thick of it for snow at this time. 14 degrees right now. No precipitation here coming up in the next 12 hours and really the next 24 until we see a little bit of an increase there. About 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, it looks like. Okay. And that may be the system we were looking at on the radar earlier if you were with us at this time. All right, that's the temps right now. Taking a look at the 3-day right now. Tomorrow, looking at 16 and 8 degrees, and then it gets a really, really cold. High of -2, -19 on Friday. Then, even tougher on Saturday, -5, -22. That's why our first alert storm team issued an alert along with some possible precipitation as well. All right, let's take a look at the weather radar. Past, nothing much to really do there besides we got some snow coming back around 8, 9 a.m. into a little bit before noon. It's gone now, but this is the system our meteorologists are looking at this time, right? Starting out in west of North Dakota, all the way out west and kind of slowly moving its way, right? So this is going to end at this starts at 2 when the system kind of enters the North Dakota area, goes all the way to about 8:45, 9 o'clock, and it's going to be in Bismarck at that time. So a little bit more time before that system kind of makes its way into our area. Check out sky cams one more time, and then I'll let you guys go. Maybe do another update here in a half hour or so. Sky cams, West Fargo, not looking too different, shaking just a little bit there. That's going to be significant wind. Otherwise, Dakota Magic always has treated us well. Yep, just a lot of the same. Clear roads, clear-ish roads, wind significant. All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up right there, guys, and thank you very much for joining us here on the Valley News Live Desk as we kind of take you through these road conditions. Obviously, we know it's going to be a lot better than it was last night. Still want to make sure everyone is safe out there and we got everything covered. But thank you very much for joining us here on the Valley News Now Desk for Duke Schindler. We'll catch you later.